Does your generation do anything aside from sit on their phones all day? Do you guys even know what responsibility is? Do you guys even know what hard work is? How many of us have heard that? How many of us have heard that at least once a month? Yeah, our generation doesn't work. Okay, I understand that's true. We don't work nearly as hard as everyone else. Other generations. However, we have technology, we have so many different distractions these days. We're also really busy. However, I do think that I have one fix for that. Volunteering. The state of South Dakota should require high school students to volunteer for at least 20 hours in order to graduate. Oh wow, 20 hours. How can you say that? It's not that many. That's 5 hours every year you're in high school over the 4 years that you're in high school. It's really not that many and it wouldn't be that hard. Now I'm going to read you a definition from the Merriam-Webster dictionary for the word volunteer. Volunteer, a person who does work without getting paid for it. What? Not getting paid for it? Are you crazy? No, I'm not. That's what volunteering is. And in all reality, it makes you a better person. Now I'm going to read you some statistics about volunteering. According to the University of California, San Diego, they did a study and they found that the value of an hour of work by a volunteer is 15 hours and 39 cents. That's more than the minimum wage is here in South Dakota. That's a ton of money. And most of these nonprofit organizations do not have that much money to actually go towards paying their workers. So they rely on volunteers. This is a huge part of the volunteering community. I'm going to read you another statistic. According to Idealist Volunteer Resource Center on their website, it said the economic value of volunteering in 2008 as a whole, as everyone, was $162 billion in American money, in the U.S. money. That's a crazy amount. $162 billion. That's how much that hard work was worth from those volunteers. That's a crazy amount, and you really don't think that it would add up to being all that. Volunteering really shows that we care, and it gets our name out in the public. So what I mean by this is, how many scholarships and college applications have you filled out this year? A lot? Yeah, I know. And how many of them said, put here your volunteer hours or your community service hours? A lot of them. They all want to look and see how much you've done for your community and how hard you've worked for them. And most of the time, they really look at that. If, let's say, somebody had 100 hours compared to somebody having none, who are they probably going to go for? The person that had 100 hours, because that shows that they have the work ethic that those scholarships are looking for. Because if you have 100 hours worth of volunteer hours and you still have good grades, that shows that you're committed to something, and they want to give their money to the person that's more committed. Those hours all end up going towards the same place, and if it was required by the state of South Dakota, they would have to be logged and put into your official transcript, which then would be there permanently. Now, according to May Cobb on the United Way website, by having that commitment of doing those volunteer hours down, scholarships in colleges will know that you're way more committed than somebody else that isn't. And this is really important when they're making their decisions, as I stated before. Also, volunteering really gives you a feeling of pride, and it makes you proud and feel good. Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh, but volunteering takes so much of my time. Well, not really. In all reality, volunteering is really good for you. According to the University of San Diego again, volunteering actually reduces your stress, and it can help boost your mood and your emotions. What I mean by this is, by volunteering, you're not stressing about your own life or that essay that you have to write later. You're helping somebody else's life. Like, by donating to your local food pantry, or say working out of your local food pantry, you're helping somebody get a meal that they need. And that's all because of you. Also, it helps your mood and your emotions. Because if you go somewhere and you're going to help someone, that's probably going to make you happy, because you know that you're making that day better for somebody else. Volunteering really makes you a better person, and with the responsibility that it gives you. So let's say that the state of South Dakota did require it, that you have at least 20 volunteer hours. Well, you have to get that limit. You have to get that number, or even exceed it. It gives you that responsibility and it gives you that goal that you have to meet. This shows, again, the scholarships and the college committees that you are committed to something and that you're going to reach that goal. Yes, it is required by your school and your state, but it also shows that you met that requirement, which is really important. Also, volunteering early in life makes for a lifelong passion for it. If you start volunteering now, you're probably going to want to keep doing that because, like I said, it makes you feel better about yourself. And that is very important. If you feel happy by helping out at at a homeless shelter or helping get food for a nonprofit organization, you're probably going to want to keep doing that because it makes you feel good. If you start now, you're probably going to want to continue to do that, which is very, very important. As I stated earlier, volunteering shows that you're committed to something and also shows that you care and it gets your name out in the public, which is all very important and it can help you later in life. The state of South Dakota should require high school students to volunteer for at least 20 hours in order to graduate.